updated AP poll. We've played a full week of college football, actually a week and a half, really. Georgia jumps Ohio State for the number 2 spot. Michigan up 4 spots to number 4 as we see Clemson drop back to 5. Notre Dame goes from 5 to 8. Utah tumbles 6 spots to number 13 after losing to Florida. The Gators, by the way, go from unranked to number 12. NC State drops 5 spots to 18 after its loss. And BYU, folks, up 4 spots to 21. Tennessee, 24th before their matchup with 17th ranked Pittsburgh. Oregon drops out after its loss to Georgia. Those brought to you by Goodyear. So again, the first regular season rankings out. And Greg, are you satisfied with how the top 3 shook out?
I actually had no problem with it whatsoever, Wendy. And if anything, Bama looked great, obviously. Ohio State, not the dominant performance that many people projected. But you could make a fairly strong argument that Georgia should be at number 1. Now, whether or not you want to move Bama off number 1 after they win 55-0 against a team that won double-digit games last year, that's a difficult thing to justify. But the most impressive and the most dominant performance of the weekend was that of what we saw from the Georgia Bulldogs. Offensively, defensively, even in the third phase special teams, they were completely dominant against an Oregon team, Joey, that I still think is okay. So I think Georgia made a real case to be at number 1, and if we had them there, I wouldn't have had an issue with it.
Greg, I was just about to say that we tend to overreact after week 1 or week 2 and start moving teams around, and then you jump on here and start talking about Georgia moving up to number 1. That would be an overreaction. I don't have a problem, though, with the Buckeyes dropping down to number 3, Georgia moving up to number 2. Doesn't really matter at this stage in the season. It was interesting that it was the offense of Ohio State that didn't look great. We expected the offense to put up a lot of points, defense to sort of come around under Jim Knowles, but it was the opposite. And so Ohio State's offense isn't a concern whatsoever. They will get much better as the season moves on. But to see them drop down to number 3 because of the offense experience is very interesting movement early in the poll.
Joey, you know what's interesting here, Florida moves from unranked in the preseason up to number 12. What do you make of that move?
I don't mind that move either. I think the way Anthony Richardson played for Florida opened a lot of eyes to knock off a top 10 Utah, which is probably the favorite in the Pac-12. The way they did it in dramatic fashion, interception in the end zone after Utah drives all the way down. And this is a veteran Utah squad coming in Billy Napier's first season, getting Florida up to knock off Utah. They absolutely deserve to be ranked now. And I think you had a little bit of, we got to put them in front of Utah. So how far can we drop Utah? How far can we bring Florida up? It's too early for that kind of thing, but I can understand why they did it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.